blood just kept coming out. It just kept coming out. And so then they're like, we have to take her to the OR. She's bleeding too much. And when you look at all of the blood in the birthing room, it was blood just all over the floor. I had blood all over me. Everyone had blood all over themselves. And so, yeah, they took her to the OR. And they were prepping the OR room. And I was like, I need to take a walk. Like, I need to go to the bathroom. Like, I need to do something. Because they don't have OB residents here, so I'll participate, which I want to. It's just based off of my last reaction when I was like, I'm gonna sit down because if I pass out in this room, they're gonna have another patient. I was like, yeah, I need to get it together, you know. So
and I feel like they always say that. Are you gonna faint? Are you gonna faint? Are you gonna faint? Please sit. Like, yeah. I just look at them. I'm like, I want to say yes, but you're too scary for me, so no.
No, I've actually never had the sensation of wanting to faint until that moment. Like, I never have. And so when it happened, I was like, why do I feel like my brain is kind of like all the way up in the air? Like, why do I feel like I'm gonna lose control of my body? I need to leave this room. Since I was a student there, they're like, you'll help, you know? So I was like, I can't faint. They could do the surgery without me 1000%, but like, it's my job to not faint. And so we came into the OR, let's say it was like 3:30 in the morning, right? And I had taken I took my walk and everything, so yeah. And I had asked the doctor, I was like, oh, can I watch the surgery? Because I was very intrigued to see why this woman was bleeding so much when the birth looked fine. And the doctor's like, watch, you're helping, go scrub in. So I was like, oh, okay. And so then we lay the lady like in Trendelenburg, which is like she's on her back, and we lift the legs up on the operating table. And so then what had happened was she only spoke, well, she spoke a little English, but not really. Like, she spoke Spanish. And so I feel a little less bad. No, I feel bad about what I said next. It wasn't anything bad about the patient, but like when I saw her like cervix, I was like, where's her cervix? It exploded, like it's gone, like what happened, you know? And the doctor was like,
oh wow.
And I was like, she's like, it didn't explode. I was like, I don't see it. Like this is, I don't know if this can be repaired. The doctor's like, you're not seeing the vision. I was like, I'm not. Her cervix was, yeah. I was like, I don't see it. Like I don't know. I was like, I see why she was bleeding so much. But her cervix is split in 4 different places.
Oh
your
my
cervix
God.
is, yeah, like your cervix is I'm sure people know, like after your vagina, then you have like your cervical area.
Watch that one person listening to the show going like, let me Google cervix right now. No judgments there, guys. No judgments. Yeah. Like today, someone said something super simple. Oh, I went in today and like one of the doctors, he pronounced hemoglobin kind of weirdly, or maybe like because of all the music that I listened to at like loud volumes, I just didn't hear him correctly. So I'm just like, what do you mean? And he's like looking at me like hemoglobin was 5, and I'm just like, what? And then he spelled it out, and he's just looking at me like, you're a 4th year medical student, get your shit together. But yeah.
But so her cervix, it was like, that's the thing that people take the pap smear off of, like part of it. So it was like split into 4 different places, and the doctor she had to like pull it out like into the vagina for us to see the different spots. So I'm like trying to hold as many instruments in my 2 hands as possible. Like I have like, I don't know the names of the instruments very well, but I have like the scissors looking thing. I'm holding like another like pliers. I'm holding retractors and trying to cut things. And I'm like, I need a third hand in order to do this. And so, the doctor was sewing her up, and she eventually stopped bleeding, but the surgery took a little while to perform because I didn't even know that your cervix could do that after birth. And the doctor was like, yeah, it happened. So I was asking her, how long is she gonna have to stay in the hospital? She's like, oh, she can go home tomorrow. I was like, seriously? Like, I cannot stress how like scary it looked to me. Like, it was just so frightening. And I don't even know if she's understanding what I'm saying, because I'm just like, her cervix exploded. How can you repair this? Will she ever have children again? And I'm asking these questions out in the room, you know? And so, at a point, because she kept bleeding, like they're sewing up the cuts like one by one. but she just kept profusely bleeding. And I was just like, she cannot die. This patient cannot die. She just gave birth to her first child. Her husband's in the next room, like holding the child. He's doing the skin to skin, like while she's here. Like, she cannot die. Like, I was so scared about that. She didn't.
Yeah.
She made it through. Yeah, she made it through. And like her cervix.
I thought for a second you said she did, and I was like, wait, you didn't tell me this was going to be a sad story.
No. She made it through, which I'm glad about.
Good. Yeah.
She made it through. It was so much blood. So much blood. Like, there was a clot the size of my fist that flew out of her uterus.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it like fell, like it almost fell onto the doctor. She like moved out of the way. And I was like, I did not know a clot could be that big, which of course it can, but I feel like seeing it in front of your eyes is like a whole other thing.
Imagine if it ended up in the doctor's face. Like, it's like a cricket ball ending up on your face. I wonder if you get bruised afterwards.
I would, like, for that, you wouldn't get bruised. You would just have, like, a big, the cricket ball? Yes. Aren't those hard? I've never played cricket. Okay.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, those are hard.
I mean, I feel like they're not super hard, but it's just when it comes at that speed, right? It's like, I don't know if this is the right term. Like, I haven't done physics in ages, but I feel like the inertia is what makes it hurt.
Maybe. I hated physics. I was so bad at it. So I tried to
Same. I don't know. I'd like to say that I haven't met a single medical student who said, I love physics. I haven't met a single
placement partner loves physics, but...
Oh my God, but he's so weird. Maybe I shouldn't say that on the podcast. Ignore me for 2 seconds.
Not confirming nor denying, so... But no, she ended up being fine. But when I was asking the doctor, I was like, how much? Yeah, exactly. I was like, how much blood do you think she lost? The doctor was like, oh, she probably only lost like 1.5 liters. And I was like, there's no, like, I didn't say this to the doctor, but I was like, there's no fucking way. There's no way she lost that little of blood. You know, like based off of all the clots and like the fire hydrant. Like when I say it was a fire hydrant, it was so bloody. And when I say I was covered in blood, I was covered in blood. Like I thank God I was wearing the eye protection, because I had like blood like on my forehead. We have like these hair things that you use to cover your head. I had blood land on my hair. I had like blood in my glasses, my mask. Yeah, I had blood everywhere. And wow. Yeah, it was very bloody. So, but when they actually found out the amount of blood loss she had, it was like 2.2 liters. And usually you have like 4 to 5 liters of blood in your body, from my memory, right? Mm-hmm. In pregnancy, it's a little more, but at a certain point, like you start to like lose function of your body because you need blood. Like you need all the 4.5. And so to lose 2.2 liters of blood is a very big deal.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad she survived. I'm glad she wasn't symptomatic. Yeah. I mean, good on you. How do you feel now that you've had a night of hemorrhages?
Twas the night of hemorrhages. Yeah, like I really like OB. Like I find it very interesting because there's a lot of like exhilarating experiences, and you're seeing like birth happening, which is very fascinating. But I just didn't foresee that happening to me, if that makes sense. Because like I'm a student. I'm not really integral to what's going on. Does that make sense? You know? Like,
yeah, it makes sense. I mean, on one hand, I'm like, you know, if it happens, it happens. Like, I mean, you're on that rotation, so you're meant to see everything, like everything that's going to happen in that month. But like, I also understand where you're coming from, because that's how I feel sometimes on placement.
But you're seeing like the raw like moment. You're there and watching and stuff. And it's kind of like, when I was in the room, I'm like, whoa, this could be happening to me like in a year and a half. Like helping women give birth, not me giving birth. That will not happen in a year.
I'm glad you clarified. I'm like, Anita, I mean, you've never told me about thinking about pregnancy. Like, that's a bit too early, hey?
No. That is a very, very long time from now. But like in a year and a half, like when I apply for residency, I'm just like, like this, because I am interested in OB, but like this could be like my reality, and it's like you have to know what to do at what time. So I was asking the doctors, like I know it comes in practice, but it's like, how do you know what to do? Because you don't have a lot of time to make a lot of decisions, because you have like two people that could possibly like live or die depending on the way you react, and they're just like, oh, it's a practice, you know. But does that make sense? Like, it's really scary to see, but it's very also intriguing.
It does, but I believe in you. I mean, good on you. You didn't faint. You helped.
Yeah, I didn't faint. Yeah.
You figured out that it was more than 1.5 liters of blood loss. I feel like you're on the right path. Says the person who hates OBGYN, but I reckon you're on the right path. Take it with a grain of salt.